need some juice. And as you know, tight end position is absolutely
Huge.
a size speed thing. So what did you see in the tight ends? Because that's your sort of corner. I'll let you sort of tell us a little bit about the tight ends before we move on.
I love that, Jack, because there's so many people out there that will be like, "Oh, you probably talk tight ends all the time, so we'll talk about something else." But you know me, I want to talk tight end, right? Like people do that, and I go, "No, let's talk tight ends." Like I'm all over it, man. And to your point, people might not realize the 40 time and long speed. So people talk about 40 time and they say, oh, well, it only matters for breakout and like long speed and long touchdowns. Well, I say that matters at the tight end position more than any other because a lot of times the target shares are limited. So you look at a guy like Jake Ferguson, who's a fine player, but he runs like a 4.7. Actually, the better example would be Zach Ertz, right? Zach Ertz, really good in space, getting open or whatever, but he only has one 1,000-yard season on his entire resume at the age of 28, and he needed 156 targets to get there because he ran like a 4.76. Whereas George Kittle, we wonder why, even as the third target on the team, he can have these monster seasons, 1,000-yard seasons. It's because he ran a 4.52. And no tight end has more 40-plus yard plays than him. He's the only tight end that has, since I've been tracking this for like 7+ years, he's the only tight end that has multiple 70-plus yard plays. He has multiple 80-plus yard plays. Yes. And that's the difference between the middle of the pack and these guys. So for me, the way I categorize it is anything 4.5 or below is absolutely difference-making speed. We're talking about Evan Engram, Kyle Pitts. Anything 4.5 to like low 4.6s, that's serviceable, and that's Travis Kelce lives in there, so we know that you can be the tight end one. Mark Andrews lives in there. Anything 4.7 or higher, you need to get peppered with targets, and that's been the problem for guys like Hunter Henry. Great example. You need touchdowns or targets. So I look around and I will say that one of the losers potentially from the combine from doing it is Ja'Tavion Sanders, simply because he is like the Zach Ertz, right? Incredible hands. He got 67 targets his senior year and didn't drop a single ball, right? So we know he can catch. We know he can get open in space, but I wanted to see the long speed that can turn a 20-yard catch into a 50-yard catch. And 4.69 isn't quite doing it for me, Jax. I would have really liked to see him run. I mean, ideally, sub 4.6 would have been really cool. Yeah. So it does, and again, it's a minor knock, but to me, he would have really cemented himself tier 2, whereas now I look around and I say, okay, let's see where Jaheim Bell lands. Let's see where Ja'Tavion Sanders even goes. At the end of the day, I might not even have him tight end 2 now, depending how the draft shakes out. So it's like little things like that. It does matter to me.
Well, yeah.